In space, no one can hear you scream. On the internet, no one can see whether or not you're wearing pants. Ponder that for a moment. And let's just play with this a little bit more. Make sure all the technology is behaving itself. Make sure I'm here in the right place. And my stuff is here in the right place. Before I begin the actual show, you'll all be pretty happy to see that I do, in fact, yes, the hat is back. It's the hat. The hat is back because, well, honestly, if I'm performing this at a festival, I'm probably wearing this hat. It's kind of a justification for a lot of other things. Or possibly an excuse for a lot of other things. As my wife has said on more than one occasion, this hat is a letter of marque. And take that as you will. All right, folks, here we are. 40 shows. This is number 40. How the heck did that happen? This started a while ago. I started writing down everything in here. I actually wrote down all the shows, all the songs I've done on all the shows that I have done. And according to my calculations, I've done 45 different songs. I performed many of them multiple times, which is to be expected because that's how you build a repertoire. And this is show 40. And it's not the end. Not by a long shot, I don't think. We've got another week's worth of kind of semi-pseudo, kind of sort of working things going here. I will probably continue to do this for as long as I am allowed to work at home and not have to commute out and back. And when I have to start commuting out and back on a regular basis, then we'll go to a weekly basis, and that's only going to be interrupted when I am actually performing at an event. And then y'all can bloody well come see me there. Or I can go completely berserk and figure out how to broadcast these things remotely. Which could be a bit of a challenge because Renaissance festivals, as we know, tend to be where the Wi-Fi don't go. So, we'll see. Oh, my goodness me. Alright, I suppose I should probably get going here. We're just kind of, a lot of people are probably still recovering from Memorial Day weekend. I'm a horrible human being in that I planned to take today off and have done so. Went to the grocery store during the day to stock up on a few things. My evil brown chemical fizzy water, food products. Come on. Tune, you. There we go. There we are. I think that's about as good as we're going to get. Oh, today, I'm going to be a little more laid back. I mean, we did the big, McLarge, huge Memorial Day show, and I'm really happy with the way that came off, technical fiddly bits notwithstanding. We're going to go a little bit easier today, I think. I think we all deserve it. I think that if this was an actual Renaissance Festival weekend, I would currently be extremely injured, tired, happy, but extremely injured and tired. Because that's how you do Faire. People have asked what's it like doing Faire, and I tell them what you do is you go out into a big open field, you put a bunch of random buildings and booths in it with variable shade and variable access to water. Now run at top speed while shouting at the top of your lungs for 8 hours. Now do this with 1,000 of your closest friends. And do this twice a week for 2 months. And that's Faire. But we're going to be a little bit more laid back here. I haven't done this one for a while. I sure hope I remember the chords. You never try to keep the wild ones home. But mister, don't just sit there and wait. Go out on the town, making all of the rounds. It don't matter if you're your own date. Vacantly occupied, sat on the beach until my body got fried, dreaming of your pretty eyes up in South Carolina. I can't pronounce my R's and G's when I'm speaking Southernese. Honeydew, honey, come and do me again. I seen your fat cat style, 300 pounds, a jive-ass smile. Young girls giggling all the while, that's not my cup of chowder. I go for candlelight, cold champagne nearly every night. Honeydew, honey, come and do me again. Why couldn't you have taken the non-stop train? I'm hungry, and I really wanna see you again. I know it's getting late. Waiter keeps staring at your empty plate. Mater D keeps telling me, sir, she's just not coming. What the hell does Garcon know? We've been through all this before. Honeydew, honey, come and do me again. Honey, why couldn't you have taken the non-stop train? I'm hungry, and I really wanna see you again. Vacantly occupied, sat on the beach until my body got fried, dreaming of your pretty eyes up in South Carolina. I can't pronounce my R's and G's when I'm speaking Southernese. Honeydew, honey, come and do me again. One more time, well now, honeydew, honey, come and do me again. Whoa, well now, honeydew, honey, come and do me again. Nice little laid back, relaxed kind of way to start a show that follows the big, McLarge, huge, gigantic extravaganza. Yeah, Kate, I like Jimmy Buffett songs. I was raised as a parrot head. My dad was a boat guy from about 1974 because his boss had a boat. So my dad got it. His boss had a sailboat, so my dad got a sailboat. So my dad's boss got a bigger boat, so my dad got a bigger sailboat. So my dad's boss got a bigger boat, so my dad got a bigger boat, and my dad's boss got a expensive thing to put on the big boat, and it just kind of spiraled out of control. And one of the things about being a guy who sails around on a lake in Tennessee is you wind up listening to an awful lot of Jimmy Buffett for some reason. What he calls Gulf and Western. I can't really do Jimmy Buffett, and I can't really do Leon Redbone, but I can do Jimmy Buffett doing Leon Redbone. And Honeydew is one of my favorite songs for that. Pencil Thin Mustache will probably put in another appearance somewhere down the line as well. As I work my way through songs that I can do in places that are occasionally indoors with climate control and maybe a cover charge. I don't know. I think this might be my exit strategy. Kay has been saying that he went to his first and only Buffett concert when he was -5 months old. My mother apparently scared the shit out of everyone except my father by dancing in a chair all pregnant, which does explain a lot. I'm with you right there. I have never been to a Jimmy Buffett concert, nor have I been carried to a Jimmy Buffett concert. Kay is ahead of me on that one, and he also has a baritone voice, which I somewhat resent, but in a loving way. Oh, let's do another nice kind of laid back one. I still love this song, and I love the idea of where it came from. It literally came off of the tagline, "The Man Who Sold the World," which is a David Bowie song. And then Nirvana did a cover of that, and the acoustic cover of that is where I get the chord chart for doing it on this thing. Welcome to the incredibly convoluted world of how Troubadork songs come into being. I met him at the fair. We spoke of where and when. Although he was not there, he comped me as a friend, which came as some surprise. My act never caught his eye. I thought he'd driven home a long, long time ago. Oh no, not me. I never change my clothes. You're face to face with a man who lives at Faire. I laughed and shook his hand and drank from his own flask. Went back to my homeland. Then I knew what I should have asked. I gazed a gazely stare at all the folks at Faire. We should have driven home a long, long time ago. Oh no, not us. We never change our clothes. You're face to face with the folks who live at Faire. Oh no, not me. I never change my clothes. You're face to face with the man who lives at Faire. Love the way that feels. I love me an A7th chord. I'm a big fan of 7th chords in general. A7, C7, G7, F7, E7. You know who else is a big fan of the E7th chord? King Henry, 8th to bear that noble name, King of all England. All the songs that are credited to him have that chord in it. Big fan of the E7th chord. My guess is that on a lute, it was probably like ridiculous. It was one of those one-finger wonders where you could like put your finger down on one thing and play an E7th chord because it was like, hey, that sounds good. We'll just use that for everything. That's why I like the A7th chord and the C7th chord. They're one-finger wonders. So, I don't even have to have any talent now. Speaking of this chord, I'm amusing the heck out of myself here, gang. Yeah. Let's do it. I have a love-hate relationship with this song. I love this song, and my hand hates to try to play the opening lick My hand hates to try to play the opening lick because it is instinctively counterintuitive as to what you're actually going to do with it when you try to play it. It is in fact playing basically the C blues scales. The C blues scales on a ukulele on the top 3 strings are, and this thing goes. Let's see. Yeah. Goes. See, and I'm thinking about it too hard and it's hurting. But it's basically the blues. It's the blues scale minus that one. So it should make perfect sense. As a matter of fact, if you look at a lot of Beatles tunes, they really love messing around with what was basically the blues scale for whatever key they were playing in. All right, let's see what happens. I pray thee, my Lord, will you hear this song? It took me years to write, but will not take too long. It's based on a sonnet by a man named Kit, and I need a patron, so I long to be a Renaissance minstrel. Renaissance minstrel. 'Tis a lovely ballad of a wandering knight, and his lady's love keeps him up at night. His son's a lowly squire just schlepping swords. 'Tis a steady job, but he longs to be a Renaissance minstrel. Renaissance minstrel. Renaissance minstrel. Minstrel, minstrel. There's 100 verses, give or take a few. I can write some more in a week or two. I can write in Latin if you like the sound. Sed putus susamet, and I long to be a Renaissance minstrel. Renaissance minstrel. If you do enjoy it, I can send it there. I get so tired of twistering from fair to fair. If you must return it, send it to the king. Well, he'll just put his name on it and call himself a Renaissance minstrel. Renaissance minstrel. Renaissance minstrel. Minstrel. Renaissance minstrel. Minstrel. Renaissance minstrel. Minstrel. I'm passed out with good company. Minstrel. Passed out with good company. That is, in fact, a riff I have written half of, or at least one part of, sufficient to perform in front of King Henry and have myself be ejected from his presence. Pastime with Good Company is a song that is credited to King Henry, and at the fairs, of course, right now at Scarborough, we have a fairly young, sprightly King Henry, so he's in the prime of his carousing career. Very somewhat tempered by the fact that he's married a lovely, very intelligent, and very, very patient and loving wife in his first wife. And there's a song, Passed Out with Good Company, and Pastime with Good Company, I will and seek, and so forth and so on. And me, I kind of like, passed out with good company, I am so drunk I can barely see, Cromwell shouting at a tree, my bladder's full, I have to, and then get hustled away from the presence of the king. Well, okay, I will in fact see if I can get the rest of Passed Out with Good Company kind of put together. It's never really been meant to survive the first verse. So I may have to learn how to do Pastime with Good Company and get that solid. And then we can then do Passed Out with Good Company and get myself dragged away and up against a tree 6 or 7 times because it's hilarious to abuse the musician. Especially when he's wearing this hat. Oh my goodness me, is it already that? It is already that. They've changed up the Facebook Live broadcast thingamammer a bit so that I can, one, it's actually refreshing the chat, which I am so happy about because I can actually keep up with the conversation. The other thing it's doing is that it is showing me exactly how long I have been on in a big counter right up here. And I think it's really a telling point that when I'm doing these shows, when I'm just doing this music and babbling at y'all and y'all are typing at me, that the time just goes so bloody fast. It really does. There's not a single part of any of the shows that I've done that it felt like, all right, I just got to get through this to the next bit. And when I'm on stage performing this music, it never feels like I just got to get through this next bit. There are moments where it's like, oh my god, I can't believe I didn't play that correctly. That happens a lot at the Troubadork show because, once again, I am not very good at this. But it's just one of those things. Now, I didn't feel like I could, in good faith, just do filks and just do covers. I wanted to do a original Tobias tune. And although I know it's been getting an awful lot of play recently, I'm looking at my notes here, and I have played it several times, partially because it's a fun song, and partially because it's a brand new song. So this is basically rehearse, earn while you learn. Rehearse while you're entertaining people. I hope I'm entertaining people. So we will do it one more time, and then probably put it away for the weekend. I have 2 more shows after this week, assuming all goes well. I'll do tomorrow's show on Wednesday and then Thursday's show, and off for 3 days, and then we'll see where we stand. So I'll keep you all posted on that business. But yep, it's gonna be that song because it's just such a happy, fun, light song about drinking and gambling and violence and defenestration. Just what is not to love about this song? It's so much fun. So much fun. Let me put the cheat sheet up. It's not quite ingrained in my head yet, but it's coming awful close. The best ones get just burned in. Yeah. Light and Bavarian. The kind of happy tune you can see sitting around a campfire, with their kinder, right before they pick up the pole arms and storm the castle. I was gambling in Helsinki, down upon mine luck, o'er a lot of these big Flemish guys. I felt that I was stuck. I thought I was gonna sure surrounded by mine foes. Then I remembered Hasselhoff and he solved all my woes. For he wrote, just grabs them by the crotch and then throws them out the window. A lovely way to get above whatever makes you blue. Just grabs them by the crotch and then throws them out the window. It's amazing what a little flick of wrist and arm can do. Well, I cleaned myself out of there and I fled down to the bar. I happily sipped lager, maybe 2 or 15 jars. Then some massive Swedish mercenary spoke ill of my ma. I did not think I could escape this peril quite unscarred. And then I remembered Oscar Hasselhoff, who wrote in his incredibly useful Manual of Defense, just grabs them by the crotch and then throws them out the window. A lovely way to get above whatever makes you blue. Just grabs them by the crotch and then throws them out the window. It's amazing what a little flick of wrist and arm can do. Well, I gathered quite a crowd by the great feat I did perform. I ordered me another round, for I had grown quite warm. But when the time to settle came, pleas for credit were all scorned. And although I tried to stand mine ground, mine fate was quite forewarned. For they too had read Oscar Hasselhoff. So they grabbed me by the crotch, whoop, and they threw me out the window. Yay! Well, that was darn effective, I thought, as I was passing through. They grabbed me by the crotch, and they threw me out the window. Yes, it seems defenestration works on well as me as you. Just grabs him by the crotch, sings and throws him out the window. It's happy, a lovely way to get above whatever makes you blue. Just grabs him by the crotch, and throws him out the window. It's amazing what a little flick of wrist and arm can do. A light, happy song. The kind of song that could be sung by a man with far too many feathers in his hat, knowing that if he came to a fight, he'd know how to defend himself. Thanks to Oscar Hasselhoff's incredibly useful manual of defense, grabs him by the crotch and throws him out the window. This song is from the upcoming folio, Music to Get Beaten Up To. Was music to get beaten up by, but we discovered that no matter how much you roll a folio up into a tube, you really can't get a good swat in with it. We tried. Very disappointing. Well, enough for German for one day. Folks, thank you once again for hanging out with me for another half hour where I would normally be stuck in traffic on Nacogdoches Road, watching people perform breathtakingly dangerous feats of vehicular maneuvering because everyone out there is convinced that they are an expert driver. That's right, an expert driver. A lot of people talk about how people in their town are crazy or bad drivers or insane. No. In San Antonio, everyone is an expert driver. Because only an expert driver would try this kind of goofy crap. Everybody else would just be too darn scared. True story. True story. It's a refreshing little day. Well, let's do the thing. First and foremost, of course, the tip jars. Why? Because we live in a capitalistic society, and money can be exchanged for goods and services. And things like microphones and ukulele strings and funny hats and talent and web cameras and stuff like that. So PayPal.me, Ko-fi.com, both The Adequate. I'm also The Adequate I'm at The Adequate on Instagram, and I'm at The Adequate on Facebook. I actually put an ad for my show on Instagram. I have no idea if it caught on or who's going to see it. And I'm really not that worried because it's just fun. You can, of course, I want to thank Robert and Rick and Emily for dropping some money in the tip jar there. I also want to discuss Patreon.com, how you too can support adequacy in your lifetime. I always feel so weird saying that. But it's also true, because you are supporting this project. Any money that comes in through any of this stuff goes right back into the show. Patreon.com/TheAdequate, and BK and Kaylee and Richard and Relly and John and Brian and Lorena and Alicia are all chipping in a little bit. And if you have $12 a year that you don't need, you too could become a Patreon patron and get some previews of songs. You get to see what it looks like when I'm actually doing backstage doing this stuff. You get things like the set list for the big shows when I have it, previews of songs that I'm working on, previews of songs that I've finished, anything else I can think of, honestly, buttons, books at the higher levels, and stuff like that. Also, the warm feeling that comes from knowing that you're keeping me safe in here and not out there where it's frickin' dangerous. Oh, let's see. SoundCloud.com/Matthew-Laguerre is where I keep a lot of my recorded stuff. I am going to be recording more stuff as we go. We figured out a rough recording schedule, and I'm going to try and roughly record some things. Most of it will be demos because I don't have a lot of production experience. If you do have production experience and are willing to work with an idiot who wears a hat like this, let me know. I'll be happy to send you some tracks and you can play with them and we can try to turn it into something reasonable. When I have enough reasonable stuff together, I will put out some stuff on Bandcamp. Theoretically, I have about 4 EPs worth of material grouped by subject, topic, and content. We'll see. 3 of them are all original stuff, and then there's the covers, which you have to figure out. I have to figure out the logistics of doing covers and filks. I believe you got to get some like legal stuff, like they call it a mechanical license, which terrifies me. But we'll see. You can, of course, also always go to Carpe Diem Comics, which is the official emotional support comic shop of the Troubadork Show, Tobias the Adequate Podcast, and anything else I see fit to do as a performer. You can find them in McKinney, Texas, and also at carpediemcomicsonline.square.site. Do support your local comic shops, your local gaming shops, your local craft shops, all your local hangouts. Especially right now, but do it safely. do curbside, do mail order, do anything that helps them get by without imperiling them or you. Because we're in an interesting, very challenging point right now, where a lot of people are just want to like rush right out into the world, and aren't always careful about themselves or others. So take care of yourselves, but do help you if you can take care of them. Take care of them too. We take care of each other. That's how civilization works. You know? I think that's all of it. Wow, you know, when I wrote this tagline, I was fairly certain that we would have at least one glaring technical screw-up. And I think the only bobbles I have heard was when I was performing. I heard some things that I was not entirely happy with, but they all seemed to work. Perhaps you can hear some lawn mowing going on in the background. I don't really count that as a technical foul-up because that's people mowing the lawn. It's Texas. We mow our lawns all the bloody time. So there that is. I want to thank y'all for hanging out with me again. It's been a lot of fun. I'm glad you were here, because if you weren't here, what I do here would be even harder to explain. Thanks y'all so much for hanging out. We'll do a little transition here, and then we will do the traditional transition fade to black. And I say something pithy here at the end of this, because if I say it at the beginning, it won't be pithy. It'll just be pretentious. Yeah. See you next time.